Helper kicked out of mansion because he picked up an old key. It was the key of his real personality. Discovered son of a housewife. Karina grew up with her famous aunt named Inde, but he doesn't tell Karina anything about who his parents are. Every time Karina opens such a topic, Inde always changed the conversation. One day, as a result of surprise, I asked my aunt something serious. That's Inde. Aunt Inde. I always notice, whenever we talk about those my parents, you always avoid do you know who they're, auntie? I also have the right to know that because I am their child. Alright auntie, please share with me what you know about them. Karina said seriously and calmly. When Karina said, her aunt Inde stared into her eyes. He stared at her seriously, rubbing his hand on Karina's head. You are really young, you think so much. Your father and mother have been gone for a long time, and they left you with me, to take care of. As far as I know they are both nice and they love you very much. For now that's all I can tell you, Karina. Let's talk about it. Go to the living room and clean where our boss ate. Aunt Inde responded. Karina just shrugged her shoulders. At the same time she twisted her mouth at what they said to her his aunt. Karina knows in her heart that her aunt is hiding something from her. And he also thought that it might not be time for him to know. That's why he just followed his aunt's orders and immediately cleaned the place where his master had eaten. When Karina became a girl, her boyfriend, Ferdinand, became her friend, whose body became paralyzed due to a stroke, but he was able to go outside. With the help of Karina in her wheelchair, Ferdinand is very kind to Karina. He can't even say it, but he can show it through its actions. Because of that, Gladys, who is almost the same age as her, grew jealous of her. Ferdinand's daughter by his second wife Mirasol. As a result of jealousy, Gladys made Karina look down on her, and let this bad Karina appear in front of her father, Ferdinand. But Ferdinand did something different. Instead of siding with the other, he chose to fix the two to be friends. Gladys did not receive that because he wants to evict Karina from their mansion. That's why he asked for the help of his mother Mirasol to help him evict Karina from their mansion, picked up the key and entered the secret room. To Gladys' contempt for Karina, he still missed it out. And he didn't realize that his aunt Inde noticed all that. Karina, you are a very kind girl. You inherited your mother's wisdom. Wherever your mother is now, she must be happy because you grew up to be a good child. Cried Inde. Plus 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 Mangiak Ingiak Na Sambat Ni Inde. Really auntie, I inherited my mother's kindness, Karina replied, and hugged her aunt. Inside the mansion, there is a room that is strictly forbidden for anyone to enter. This sunflower. And the only person who holds the key to that room is none other than Mirasol. Gladys found out that this Karina often goes to that room. Because it's just across the room from Ferdinand. This made Gladys secretly take this bedroom key from her mother. And he made to put it in front of the door of the forbidden room. Find out the truth about his personality when Karina was walking to Ferdinand's room. It saw the key on the floor. Karina made to pick up that key. While looking around me, there was another person. Saw him while Karina was feeding her son Ferdinand. His mind was there in the private room, and his desire to see was strong. I wonder what the contents of that room are. This made Karina open the room. And there he was amazed at what he saw, because it was full of tools and pictures. And the one that made Karina tear up is that it reads a journal. Plus 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 ang mabasa nito ang isang journal. It turned out to be her late mother's journal, and Karina found out everything about her parents, who turns out to be Ferdinand's son. Karina cried a lot at what she found out. Expelled from the house, but everything just stopped when suddenly this Mirasol came with his son. Gladys, and Mirasol was very angry at that point, because of Karina's interference. He was even more angry when he saw Karina hugging a journal and cry. That's when Mirasol made it clear that Inde had been cheating on her for a long time. That it was Inde who hid the long-sought son of Shenna, his mother, Karina. The truth is disclosed to hide the truth. This Mirasol turned Karina into a reverse and accused him of being a thief so that he can kick Karina out of the mansion. At that point, Mirasol made Karina drag her out of the mansion. But before he could do that, Inde immediately intervened. "You can't repeat the past, Mirasol. You managed to get kicked out of the mansion. Shenna, now that will never happen because in front of you is the real heir to Sir Ferdinand's wealth. The true heir, Sir Ferdinand's real son with Shenna. New life." Mirasol just smiled at what Inde said, and who will believe you? Mirasol replied after a while. Everyone stopped when Ferdinand spoke, who had just been listening to their conversation. And at that point Ferdinand was able to speak. "You've been making me spin sunflowers for a long time. You have no shame. What you did is unforgivable. Get out of this house right now." Ferdinand's angry voice. It happened that Ferdinand clarified the true story with the help of Inde. That Mirasol caused the loss of his wife Shenna so that it can claim the wealth of Ferdinand. And because of Inde's promise to Shenna that she will hide Karina's identity until he was at the right age, I was able to introduce him that Karina is his niece. The course of this, Karina's life has changed, and she has become more clear about the past of his parents, and because Mirasol and Gladys are no longer here, Ferdinand's recovery is speeding up, and he made up for his shortcomings with his true son.